let's open YouTube. Let's get the chats open so I can see what people are saying. Let's see here. Pop open chat. What's that thingy? Put you over here. Hi. All right. So round two. Let's drop the camera. Starting off good. Let's see here. How did I have this last time? Something like that. Sorry, everyone. Hey, Forrestine. Kind of. So I've done a very little amount, just because it would have been hard to do on camera, which is drill a hole over here where the switch fits really nicely. It's pretty much the same depth as the plywood. It's awesome. Yeah, so that's ready to be mounted on. I've already put the holes in and everything. Now it's time to wire everything up, which is, I think, the sketchiest bit. So I thought I would do it on camera because I'm not super clear on how to wire this up. And when I say that, I mean in particular this switch here, because we've got a ground, neutral, and a hot, I believe is what the N stands for. And we've got a switch over here, and you can think of like this whole thing divided into two parts. Like, let me actually, I want to pull that part of, I want to pull this thing apart, which means I need a really small screwdriver with a flathead bit. Just throw stuff around, just because I want to pry open the fuse thingy, which has a fuse. Cool. Looks like a little fuse for 250 volts. Cool. Probably the wrong fuse, but okay. I'm just trying to better understand. So to me, it looks like none of these are connected to each other. I think the switch and the actual socket are completely disconnected from each other, but I'm going to double check that right now by just make sure you're on, just in case there's any. So I'm guessing none of these will make any beeps whatsoever unless I touch. Yeah, okay, so that didn't work. So I doubt. Yeah, so the fuse is between this and this, which are both the L, which makes sense because, okay, yeah, so if it gets too much voltage, this will disconnect right here. Okay, understand that. Now I need to decide what to connect to this switch, because it's a 2-pole switch, I believe. Or single throw, double pole. Yeah, right. I think that's right, because there's essentially two connections when you flip the switch. I think they should be for the neutral and the hot, not to connect to each other, but they each have their own, and then I run the neutral and hot out of these into their respective terminals on the Meanwhile power supply. That's my theory. I'm going to do a little Googling real quick, so maybe there'll be some music. Let's see. Might have reached the end of the tape. Yeah, I think so. Let's stop, eject, flip the tape over. Oh, hey, I just realized I have another tape player in my Euro rack. That's cool. Cool beans. Come on, there you go. Hey. Sorry, Googling. I want to understand the thing better. You don't need to know. Switch. only with 250 volt fuse. Switch to Ryan's guitar amp. Wiring a dual switch. Here we go. Hopefully this will give me the answers I need. It's very slow though, so I'm gonna drink. Oh, I gotta turn the external monitor on. I lost my notes. Not getting. There we go. Okay. I just wanted to see a diagram that had this switch on it. Can't zoom in. Quick look, open with. Yeah, quick look. I just want to zoom in. Okay, hold on. I gotta. This is looking on the computer, mixtape, pretty much rules. This doesn't help me at all. Okay. No, I don't want to do switch. Trinity Tweed amp builder's guide. Maybe you'll have an answer. Doing amp stuff. I just need like switches and wire maybe. Yeah, sorry, I know the mic's quiet because speaker's right next to it, and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a little hesitant to mess with this just yet. But we don't really need it to test stuff out, do we? Because I've got this here. You know what? I'll just use this and solder this without the switch in it first, because I think the switch is the sketchy part. So let's get some wire. They're all going to be the same color because I cheaped out and got one color of wiring. I'll probably use some tape to differentiate the ends a bit. Yeah. Let's get this marker out of the way. My helping hand. I like to put the magnifying glass touching the ground so it has a little more leverage, but that's just me. Got a hot soldering iron ready to go. Could use actual connectors to connect to it, but again, just using what I got. So, try not to breathe the fumes because the fan's not going to reach over here. And I'm just letting this wire a little bit. All right, and let's hit the ground first. Sure, it's the closest one. Let's see, is there an easier way to do this? Find a sort of an angle like this is good. I don't know if you can see that. Can't see this very well. Let's see, lift that up just a little bit. Yeah, okay. Angle, and we'll do this sort of on the outside. Or just on top, actually. Alright, let's helping hand this thing. And normally my soldering station's pretty tidy, but I have a huge box on it right now that I'm working on, so you can see it. So that's not great. Okay, a little bit of solder on there. And again, there's probably better connectors than solder in this scenario, so I can remove them, but I'm using what I got. So, oh, you know what? I could have poked that through the hole there. Should I do that? Let's absorb some solder for a second. Okay. Yeah, the thing about large surfaces of metal is they absorb a lot of heat. Cool. Alright, and they also retain a lot of heat. Well, longer than if I didn't. So how do I want to do this before I do anything else? Let's take a look. Different angle. I might want to strip this cable longer. You do have holes through it, so I could like bend it around like that. Yeah, I'm gonna do this again. I haven't worked with this gauge of wire before, so learning experience. Let's do a lot longer. Yeah. This is 14 gauge stranded. If you're curious, pretty hefty. I could probably go up to 12 gauge, but I didn't. All right, let's tin this wire a bit because it's so hefty. Just goes a little bit nicer if it's absorbed a bit of solder. Yeah, like that. Give it a second. Definitely gonna burn myself today. Feeling it. Oh, I lost my other doobly-doo. Poor Radio Shack thingy is falling apart. But hey, it's okay. Now, I need to get that going through there. Yeah, I might have put too much solder on. Okay, next time don't tin the wire, I guess. Okay, and going to, doesn't bend. Alright, thought that was going to work better than it did. Undo, back to plan A. Just put it on like that. Trying to burn my fingers. .tumblr.com. Alright. This would really be great if I had more leverage or something, because it's pretty... maybe if I put it in the socket, it might be easier. Try not to burn the soldering iron cable with the soldering iron. Pro tip. Okay, I don't think you'll be able to see this at all, but some off chance I'll do that. Oh, what did I pull? What fell down? Oh, the camera. Come on. One job. Okay. Jeez. This is my least professional stream ever. Almost knocked over a soda. I think my odds of bad stuff have gone up a little bit today. All right, I think that's a solid connection. Okay, move this. Next step, got a big chunk of wire. I think your ground, you only need to go about this far-ish, so boom. And you'll actually be moved, so that's not bad. Yeah, that'll work. I got this fancy cheap wire stripper that's still fancier than my other one, so I'll use that. Saves me almost no time, but feels pretty fun to use. Okay. Okay, and this is gonna go, once thoroughly cleaned up a little bit, into the ground, which might be tightened all the way down. I don't really know. Let's unscrew these just to see what I'm looking at here. Oh yeah, okay, very obvious. Nice. These I want to be pretty well. Oh geez. Oh no, tweezers. Leave it to me to unscrew it one tiny bit too far. Okay. All right, that's better. Back in there we go. And then tighten it. Okay, that's not going anywhere. Next wire. Okay. Basically, I just want to test this for voltage and stuff real quick. And then I can tidy everything up. This is the first time I've done one of these this way, so. Let's make this one fairly long. Right. Don't know that I'm going to tin it ahead of time. I'm not sure yet. Let's do the, let's grab a bonus one of these switches just so I can look at it when it's inside the thing. Let's do N neutral, I think. I'm actually going to just screw this in so it doesn't move on me. Perfect. I mean, I'm sure someone who's done this before could answer my question in 2 seconds, but until they pop in, I'm on my own. Almost there. Okay, that won't move. Okay, cool. Actually, let's do the bottom one next. Whatever that happens to be. I am going to tin the wire. Said I wasn't, but I think it's easier, so. Assuming the helping hand doesn't fall apart. Probably a really good reason to not solder them on. I just don't know what it is. Because the solder isn't a good enough connection. I don't know. Anyway. Okay, that's nice and tinned. Let's go straight over here. Add a bunch more solder. Just want to make sure there's a really good connection. Solder here. Alright, and get the next bit of wire ready, I guess. So let's take you over to here-ish. Cool. Stroke this. Don't die, please. Thank you. I don't think I will. But most people don't, so. Alright, this next one was L, which is this guy here. Just in case you're worried, I will plug it in with safety glasses on. The fire extinguisher is always ready, so yeah, how bad could it be? I'm not going to be touching it, and if I've soldered things really wrong, the breaker will break. The switching fuse, is that what it is? Something like that. Anyway. Okay. Get better at this. It's the first time, again, that I've done this, so the next build will be significantly faster, and I won't have to do as many tests because I'll have precedent with photos. All y'all built them, just did it, just kept all your photos to yourself. This is currently my most dangerous part because my solder fan doesn't really do much at that distance. Yeah, nothing. Gotta be pretty close. It's not a big fan, so. Alright, detach you. And again, I probably will get multicolored wires, but for this box, I'll just put some tape on each end to say which one goes where. Color coded, obviously. So that's how I roll. Alright. Once that hardens a little bit more, cools down, I'm gonna hit that with a little more solder. I'll double check that there's no shorts before plugging it in. Should I do that after? Just kidding, I'll do it before. Okay. Why is it called mean well? Is it mean? Is it mean well? I don't know. Alright. And this one, pretty sure goes here. Alright, hopefully there's no shorts there. I'm going to hit this up with a little more solder. Alright, I think that's it. I'm going to turn this box around and double check. Actually, so that one was this guy, and it was the neutral, so it should be going to neutral. Okay, I think we're good. Move that out of the way. I'm going to move the multimeter. I'm going to flip this around a little bit, so it won't be as good of an explosion view, but I'll be able to access things a little easier and test things a little easier. So, first of all, continuity. You should be. Okay. Alright, I think we're okay. I'm going to plug it in. Just need a specific cable. Do I have one out here? Know that I do. But I have one inside. I'll be right back. Enjoy some music. Alright, let's do this. Goggles on. Music stop. That way it's not like playing when I blow myself up. Oh, it lit up. I think we're good. I think we're okay. Now the fun part, checking voltage. Set that there. And we're going to go calm to V2 first. 11.65 positive, V3, negative 12.16. Then let me change this a little bit. 5.1. All right, we have voltage. There is a little potentiometer here. I'm not sure. That's the +5 volt adjust. I could get it really precise if I want to. Nothing feels like there's any heat being put off. I'm not going to touch anything because there's a bunch of exposed terminals there. Checking again to see if these wires are getting hot. they're not at 14 gauge. They seem to be holding fine, and this shouldn't be drawing hardly any power right now. So all good. Next step is unplug it and figure out the switch and wire everything up in parallel. By the way, I very much appreciate you all caring about my safety. I also care about my safety, which is why I shelled out for these 3D printed covers here. If I had a 3D printer, it would cost me almost nothing, but because I don't. But they'll just cover the terminals on, like on this one that hasn't been plugged in. They'll go in there, plug the terminal in. There's a hole for the adjusting the potentiometer, and and that's pretty much it. There's not much to this thing. Yeah, so excited about that. Means I won't drop a cable, or more likely a patch cable or something in there and get electrocuted or nothing. So next I need to probably should do the switch, but I also need to figure out what I want to do about connecting the hot and neutral, what does L stand for? Lava? And ground to each other in parallel. I could go terminal to terminal, but for whatever reason someone said that's not as good. I'm guessing just because it's maybe too much stuff stuffed in a terminal, but I don't know, I don't think it matters. So maybe I'll try that, we'll see. In the meantime, I mean, going from these into this is going to be easy peasy. I probably could have just used one of these actually, but I wanted twice as much power, so there we go. I'm going to look at some diagrams that I've got. All right. Sorry, I'm just looking at stuff. I think it's time to pull out the old wiring diagram. All right, this has got to go on the floor. Okay. Pull out some handy dandy bonus parts. So I plan to do this a few times because I'm not happy with my current power supplies. I hope I'm happy with this or I'll be selling these, but whatever. Okay. Wow, it's silent in here. It never gets silent in here. That's cool. All right, diagram. It's about like that, like that. Sharpie time. So what I don't remember now is if I connect V3, V2, and COM and 5 volt to each other. I mean, COM probably, let's see. Open with preview. Okay. Zoom in. Yeah. Yeah, they've got ground and COM all connected, and I don't think that's going to happen on mine. But it does look like commons connect to each other, and I can make V3 and V2 connect to each other Probably. So I think I need to run common into common here. And then, sorry I don't have more marker colors, it's what I got. We'll do, I think V2 is plus, yeah. I think that goes this way. Also, V2, clearly I've got something marked wrong, but whatever. This is just for my sanity. And then V3, 5 volts. Also 5 volts. And then from there, I think over to this thing with all of those. Like somebody has to have figured out like the optimal configuration, meanwhile dual power supplies. Just been too lazy to make a basic diagram, take a photo. I'm going to check online real quick. Oh, hey, cool. Yeah, yellow is ground, red is hot, and black is neutral. Yeah, I'm aware of that. That's what I'm going to use for the tape colors. Hot passes through the fuse, right? The switch breaks hot at a minimum. You can also use it to break neutral. Okay, so that's what I was wondering, because there's two, where's the switch? On the switch there's two potential breaks, so I was thinking the ground could just stay grounded. Cool. Crimps and shrink wrap. Yeah, I probably should get some crimps. I don't actually have any because I'm not needed them. And a Y junction. Good spade connectors and a junction to keep it isolated. DC grounds need to be shared. 0 point for all DC. So DC grounds being the COM need to be shared, which makes sense. I guess my last question is, do I wire the plus and minus 12 volts in parallel? Shrink wrap, Y junctions. I don't think I've ever even owned a Y junction. Yeah, it's exactly right. Once this is done, it's done. Yeah, so what I'll do with this is I'll, for the one in the box first, I think my first step is to very tidily wire the hot to the switch and the neutral to the switch. Yeah, and shrink wrap the crap out of it. Yeah, for obvious reasons. Yeah. I'm just waiting on. I'm seeing people are typing, or I keep talking. I'm just waiting. finished today, but I can at least do some of the wiring on the switch. I probably won't solder on these once I get some crimps and Y junctions. Won't need to solder at all for this setup because it's just screw terminals and more screw terminals. Very boring. People not typing. The Great Reverend is helping me in Discord, by the way, so. The 12-volt rails. Okay, yeah, let's look at these. Okay, wiring. Neutral, 0. Plus, okay, 0, plus and minus 12. Oh, interesting. So you have minus 12 coming out of one of these, the plus 12 over here connected to the minus 12 over here. Right? Or no, the ground. It looks like 0 volt. The plus 12 wired to the common, and then the plus 12 over here. So let's see. Let me just draw this out again. So you've got box. Well, let's move some stuff. It might be time to flip this piece of paper. It's not really helping as a visual aid right now. Okay, so we've got box here, box here. If I'm reading this right, you've got the LRS 75. This is the, I mean, I think it would be the same, but there's 0 volts plus 12 minus 12, 0 volts plus 12. Minus 12. Let's draw up here. Minus 12. 0. Plus 12. And use some color coding. So, in this case, plus 12 goes over to 0, which makes 0. Then minus 12 here on yours. And plus 12 to plus 12 here. I don't, that feels wrong, but maybe it's right. It's probably right if it's working for you. You have 3 supplies. $12, $12, and $5. Yeah, in each PSU there's plus 12, minus 12, and plus 5. Let's see, I don't know if you can read that, but sort of try to point that at the camera a little bit. Yeah, here, there. Now you can read that. V2 is plus 12 if I remember right, and V3 is minus 12. It says on the side, yeah, I was correct. And then common, 5 volt, etc. There's more information there. All right, I'm gonna move this over so I can always see it. That's what I probably should have started with. Right. So mine are a little different than these 2 power supplies, I think. in that I don't need to do this exact configuration. What I think I need to do is more like, so it's time for a second piece of paper. Hold on a sec. I have to dig it out from under a bunch of components. Because I don't have a clean workspace. That's okay. Alright. So mine has box 1, box 2. For sanity's sake, I'm going to sort of draw it a little differently than it actually appears on the box, but we've got, I'll do the outputs first. So we've got common plus 12 minus 12 plus 5, common plus 12 minus 12 plus 5. On the other side, just to keep things far apart, L, N, and cool ground symbol. And pretty sure this side I have squared away. I've got my power connector-y bit thingy here, right? And on there we've got this one is ground, and one of these is L, one of these is N. I don't remember which is which, but doesn't matter for this diagram. But ground is going to connect to ground on both. That's N also going to do the same thing. And the same with L, or hot. Right, all of those in parallel. Yeah, these are all RT65Bs. So I don't have to wire DC funny, right? What the question mark I have is around how to wire these up. So I have the one bus board. If I had two bus boards, I could split them, which is fine, but I'd rather give thirsty Cosmo all the amps it can get, and never worry about sagging oscillators again. So I think that these should all be in series too. Not series, parallel, right? Yeah, parallel. Like this, but going this way into the bus board. So AC side is good, so check. Whoosh. This is how most projects I do are, where I think I know what I'm doing going into it, and it turns out after actually trying to build something, I realize I have no idea what I'm doing. I just don't know what I don't know is the thing, right? That's the trick. So we've got bus board width. I might as well draw these out here. I've got G, well, ND plus 12 minus 12 and plus 5. And I'm positive that's all upside down. Hold on. let's do some fancy work on the camera. Let's see. Can I rotate this? Transform. Rotate 180. That might be easier to read. Oh, no. Was I even selecting the right thing? Transform, rotate 180. There we go. That's probably slightly easier. And I can even change the camera to be closer. I have the box. Oh, but now it's going to be even more upside down. Oops. Transform 180. Okay. Okay, let's make this fairly lined up. Okay. need like a slightly longer one of these things. Okay. Okay. I mean, I guess I do have plenty of bus boards, and bus boards are easy to make and get. So I could just simplify it from here and have two bus boards. One goes, one goes, like that's one option for sure. Yeah, that's the thing, backfeeding one of the PSUs. I'm just thinking a little bit. Would mean more drilling holes, but that's fine. That I can do today. Do them separate. Yeah, I guess the thing that sort of gets me a little bit is I don't need 30 connectors. I need 15, maybe. Yeah, I got the bus boards. Let's just do that. And then I can make or order more bus boards if I need them for the third box. Because that's really easy. I mean, you just go, if you have two, right, like ground plus 12 minus 12 plus 5, you just go straight to each one individually. And even though those are wrong, it should be minus 12 plus, there we go, fixed. Wait, no, it was right before. Anyway, yeah. Okay, yeah, let's do that. And I can definitely do this wiring today. I think I am going to splurge. Bigger rack. Come on. My rack is like, it's 80 centimeters wide. What is that in feet? 80 centimeters. It's 2 feet 7 inches wide. 2 Cosmo rails tall. It's pretty big. And the Euro rack case I made at that size is 157.5 HP. It's massive. But I'm currently having power issues. And I just want to build this while I've got a good, well, I want to get it done so that everything's stable as possible. Might be doing a live performance at some point, so would like to not have crazy sag. With 2 regular PSUs, yeah. I mean, hey, cardboard works. No judgment. Yeah, so let's put this back on the bench. Sorry, cameras look bad for a second. Cameras look bad the whole time, but I'm doing my best. It's like a 1 foot. It's usually pointed at an oscilloscope, so, you know. Let's see, put a hand in here. Can you focus? Focus. It's focusing on this. My wall will be. My wall is assimilated. There is no wall left. Hold on, I've got to do some stuff here. That's slightly better. Okay. So I guess what I'm gonna do is now that we made this decision, I probably should move these PSUs so that this can sit like right here. I'm probably not going to set it down right now, but right in the middle. This one's already in the middle. Put this one in the middle. Yeah, cool. So step 1, unbolt everything. I don't think I should get electrocuted by unbolting this, but you never know. There's probably a capacitor or something in there that could shock me, so still gonna be careful. Don't cross the streams and all. Alright. Yeah, these 3D printed covers are pretty smart. Other folks have used hot glue. I don't like hot glue because it's kind of a pain to get off if you change your mind later, or need to fix something or move something. Alright, moving boxes out of the way. That's the theme of today. So what I need to do now is put in the other bus board where these are, which means all that fun work screwing these in and measuring is, I've got to undo that. That's okay. I don't mind moving them. Alright. I'm just loosening the screws like this. It's a little easier for me. And then I'll get them the rest of the way in just a sec. I'm only going to pull out one of the 2 screws of each, just so they don't fall down. Save these over here. Masking tape rolls make really good screw holders, I guess. Cool. Alright, let's get that second one out. Alright, we're free. Yeah, to get anywhere near live metal, you have to ignore warnings and unscrew a thing. Yeah. I took my breaker box cover off yesterday. That was, those wires are big. Alright. Alright, so this, you win the lottery. You get to be part of a case now. Cool. I'm going to do this ultra fast, which means no measuring, just eyeballing, because I'm the only one who ever sees this stuff anyway. One of the fun things about Cosmo, other than it's extremely, really, like, just extremely comfortable usability because it's larger format, is that you can fill up a case this size pretty quick. Like, it doesn't stay empty for very long. And this is my lazy way to avoid templates or measuring. Just a center punch. I usually draw some circles around them just so I don't forget which ones. Alright, and we'll do some drilling. Cool, and I'm going to try not to drill into anything that I like. Alright, camera, this is your last warning. If you don't stay up, you're fired. I'm only on 110, so I'll be fine. Yeah, well, having been shocked several times, in high voltage scenarios, I prefer not to get shocked. So I can't remember what the size drill that I have. So let's just check a previously drilled hole. Boom, perfect, first try. All right. I really don't want to drill into my workbench because I worked pretty hard on it. Especially on my other one. The one that I'm not using right now, this is like the one I don't mind kicking around. The other one is a monster workbench that I built. Craftsmanship is unparalleled by me. Alright. Vacuum. Sorry about the vacuum. Again, like to wander around barefoot sometimes, so I vacuum excessively. And I like your advice on the. I should have just got some crimps. I'm gonna go to the auto parts store and get some crimps and maybe the hardware store and some Y junctions if they even have them. All right, cool. That'll work. Let's get some screws. I'm running low on this set. Kind of a bummer. But now I know what size I primarily use, and I can just order a bunch of those. Let's see. You look too short. I don't know what you're from, but you're not from that set. Alright, let's use these other ones. It looks too short too. I don't know what that's from either. Okay. First things first. Center ones. I think that's long enough. I will double check in just a second. Okay, on the bench for a second. Make sure they're both the same direction. You know, it'd probably be tidier if I had them the opposite direction, because then the wires can just go straight down, I think. Nope, 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 nope. Just kidding. This way. This way's better. Yeah, it's long enough. We're good. Vacuum is important to get those pesky resistor legs too. Yeah, so oh, you know what I forgot to do is put the spacers on. Where did I have that random? There's that random spacer I found. Might as well. God. All right, time for a different camera angle. Let's see, there-ish. All right, resistor legs. This whole box is getting full of them. There's probably several hundred in here at this point. They're really handy to keep around, at least for me. I tend to use them for when I want to short things, which is better than it sounds. Like a good example is I built a Cosmo format mini mixer that essentially has I don't know, six channels or something like that, 6 ins, and 6 potentiometers and 6 switches. It's like mute switches, but instead of putting in regular mute switches, I put in on off and then a momentary on switch. So it's a switch that's got like 3 clicks. Middle click is off, up is on, and then if I push it down, it's like a momentary on, which is really nice if I want to do some like stutters and stuff. So you just take the wire from the top and short it to the bottom, and you got a momentary switch. Anyway, that's a good example of keeping a resistor leg, or I tend to use the thicker ones. They're probably from a capacitor or something, but keeping those around. Yeah, I probably don't need several hundred. It's just at this point it's more of a I can't help it thing. Like how can I fill the box? Like how many are in the box? That kind of a thing. Somebody will have to 3D print a tool so we can actually count them. I realized I didn't actually tighten the ones on there either. I just hand tightened them, which is okay. All right. This will use up the last 6 machine screws that are the right size. Cool. I'm glad there's a little play. Come on, buddy. Oh, you had some trouble. Great. Now let's do the back one first. Okay, all right, we're in. Okay, next. This is so boring. If someone wants to make music, just let me know in either the chat or whatever, and I will hop off. Right. And so far with the lazy center punch method for marking drill holes for these things, I've had a fair amount of success. Sometimes things are a little bit tight, like a little bit misaligned, but this one actually looks to be pretty close to dead on, so I think I'm okay. And the center holes here, these two have a little bit of play, which makes it a little more forgiving. As long as I'm marginally accurate. Okay, start with this one. Okay, this would be a two-handed operation. There we go. Perfect. Getting better at this. I'm not sure how much you can even see. Oh yeah, I've gone past the point where you can see anything. It's just perfectly in the shadow. But hey, that means it's parallel, right? Is that accurate? Parallel with the middle rail. And I'm excited. This box has been in my garage for a long time. It was briefly in my setup, but due to being underpowered and just sort of in the way for a bit, I moved it out here. I salvaged its power supply and used it for other things. So since I'm out of those screws, I'm just gonna, I guess it's for the screwdriver, I guess, but all right. I've got to get more, let's see, what's the measurements? 12 millimeter M3 seem to be the perfect length. Cool. All right, those are sets. What's next? Now I've got to put the boxes back in, power supplies. Close together is usually pretty good, is what I was told, but due to space, but I don't want to mount. It'd be hard to mount them to the bottom, and I don't want to. So for space reasons, maybe I do them both on the same side, like over here. Let's see, what would be the best way? Maybe like this. Wires would have to like cross and no, Y junction. These go that way. These go that way. That could work. What do you think? Oh, you can't see. Right. Okay. So here's the switch down here. Here's the current rail situation. Pretty good. I think I got this pretty parallel. That's not bad. But I'm thinking these maybe over here like this. I mean, I could also, it would just be tight if they were like right next to each other by the switch, or maybe I could do them like this. Then I have to sort of route the wire a little nicer and like come around and in. Sorry, around and in. Jeez, terrible camera work. Or I could have them separate, like one over here, one over here. Like that. Like that's what I'm leaning toward. They're a little far. They're one bus board apart, but that's okay. Oh, like this? I could do that. I'm just trying to think. How do we get these wires in? So these wires go to a Y junction. Y junction could be like right in front of one of these, like this. One goes this way, one goes this way, pretty much a straight line. Then these go this way and this way. It'll make a cool pattern. That's kind of cool. Is this what you're saying, Great Reverend? Where they're sort of, it's hard to see in this angle, but they're right under the rail basically. But centered, okay, so like in here somewhere. And then I could run, I guess, run the cables like this. It'd still make the same pattern, just smaller. Yeah, let's do that. Nice and tidy like that, huh? And then I could have pretty short cable lengths. Sorry, I'm just waiting. There's a good 20 or 30 second delay at least. So, so far I'm leaning towards this. It seems like it might look cool and do the job. Oh, perfect. All right. Well, what time is it? I think pretty soon I'm gonna have to cut this, but for now let's keep going. I'm going to try to mount that camera where it keeps falling, because at first it doesn't work. Just keep doing the same exact thing. Okay, that's kind of an angle, I guess. Sure. There we go. So, new challenge, or new old challenge, drilling holes for these, and I think that could be fairly trivial. Just trying to think how to do this before. I got another piece of paper. That worked pretty good, so let's get a piece of paper. This time we're going to use the bar talk method. Paper has a grain. and it likes to tear in one direction, fun fact. So what I'm going to do is line up the corners and do like a gravestone rubbing, right? Like you just do this, make sure it's pretty well lined up. Which corner am I looking at? Outside, okay, that's the right corner. Okay, so I just, somewhere around here. And I don't think you'll be able to see that very well, but I can see it pretty good. Somewhere far enough over. Yeah, cool. And it left nice little shout-outs for me to look at, so I can use my center punch and be lazy. So let's loosely line this up. Scooch down that way. I'm sure I'm gouging holes in this thing. Let's see. That's about center. That might be a hair off, but we'll see. Yeah, and let's do that on the other side too. This is the most measuring I've done in a long time. That one's a little better. Should be good. Move these out of the way. Pencil. Here, 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 and here. Don't need the center punch for a minute. Good. Oh, it's going to be sketchy to drill. I'm going to move to my old style of working on this. I'm going to grab, got these handy dandy stools here, which have a really nice way of making a workbench with a gap in the middle for when you need something stable, awkward angle, but you don't want to drill into your table. Man, I can't drill straight up and down either because that center bar. Is this one I glued in? I think I might have. No, I might have. It's a screw. We can fix this. Yeah, fuck COVID. Loose? Oh, you are loose. Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm really smart sometimes. But only sometimes. I wanted the rails to be removable on this one. Oops. So I did 2 screws on one side so it won't spin, and 1 screw on the other side. But it means I don't have to think about what side's what when I put it back. And there's already holes on one part of it, so I know what side's the front. And I think the front is slightly, it doesn't matter. Okay, so time to drill some holes that are actually straight up and down. Alright. put more holes into my stools. They already have some holes from making cases in them. All right. Nope, my shop vac didn't eat anything important. I think it just ate something. Okay, now pull this out. And how did I do this before? I think I did it with a really long, yes, with the longest 3mm screw I can find. If I get it even just started a little bit, that makes life easier. So for the second screw, so apologize, actually you can probably see it just as good from there as I can, so let's do this one first. There, can you see that? Kind of. Okay, make sure it's facing the right way. All right, first try. See, I'm getting good at this. Now, I put the screws that are the exact length in here. Now, theoretically, all I need to do is rotate it till it, yeah, it does that. Cool. That's too small. Let's do one size bigger. Oh, right. This is going to go significantly faster this time around. All right, let's pull that other screw out and put in the actual screw. Is anyone even watching this? I don't care. I'm having fun. I'm going to tighten this up because I think it's pretty good. It's not going nowhere, which I know is the wrong phrase, but that's okay. All right, one more. Up. I did not. It's so hard to see. Kids. There we go. Come on. All right, got it. All right, pull that temporary one. And the last screw, tighten them up, and we can move on to some wiring. Oh. Cool. Cool. That looks good. Good job, everybody. Next up is some basic wiring. So put the screwdriver where I won't knock it over. Drill. I think I'm going to leave that bar out for now. Yes, let me put a piece of tape on it though. Masking tape. Because I just want to write up. Probably should just write that on there. Okay, next, let's move this down here. This back in here. Wrong, not even the right one, but that's okay. Let's get some more. Screws can roll around, I don't care. Let's put them over here. Spacers out of the way. Cool. Back up, here we go. Stools out of the way. Okay, next. I probably should just wire up the 12 volts minus 12 and 5 volts ground from each of these into this. That's super easy. I don't have a good way of doing that. I'm trying to think, do I have extra wire colors? I think right now only 3 colors of wire. Black will be ground. Red will be both plus 12 and 5 volt, I guess. I don't know. Usually I just like black and yellow, but whatever. Okay. Oh, I even stripped this wire a little bit. Oh, there's no soldering involved either. This is just going to be easy peasy. All right. I need a small screwdriver, which I know I just used. Yes, it's already got the flathead on there. I'm going to loosen these up. It's going to be a cool wiring job, I think. I almost wonder if this would be better if I... Nah, it'll be fine. That goes in there. Tighten it. There's a little bit sticking out there. Just jam that back in there. I'm not happy with that. I don't like it when like a little strand, like this is where I think solid core maybe is slightly better. I don't like it when a little strand gets like bent back and hangs out, because there's the tiniest chance it could cause a short. Okay, this, let's use this. How far are we going? Just right over to COM. Should we go to that COM or that COM? I think this is shorter. Yeah, let's go this way. That's really tight. So around there. And my fancier wire strippers don't love this thin of a gauge. I don't know, maybe my Eurorack modules don't either, but I don't know. I think it's 18 gauge. Can't remember. I need a big screwdriver for these. Alright, now I want to make something beep. But I don't know where to put my multimeter because I wasn't paying attention. It's probably under something. Oh, right here. Beep. Cool. All good. we'll double check everything later. Let's do the other ground while I'm at it, I guess. Who says you need fancy wire strippers? I just read a cool tip about these screw terminals. I don't know what to call them. But if you're putting in solid core, you tend to make one like a little hook out of the wire. You want to put it in clockwise so that when you tighten the screw, it pulls it rather than unwinds it. Kind of cool. Yellow wire. I like the yellow wire. I might just use yellow wire to drive myself a little crazy. It just looks good. But also everything is pretty clearly labeled, so I'm not too worried about it. Really. Let's just use yellow wire for +5, 12, and etc. Let's start with +5. Gently. Alright. Cool beans, and you're going over to here. A little bit of slack isn't bad. Probably good. I'll do a bunch of multimeter checks in a bit. And I know actual electricians have very, very staunch opinions. Well, you're supposed to wire things a certain color just to let the next person know what's going on. But again, these are really short wires. I'm not too worried about it. Everything's really clearly labeled. Probably will be for a long time. All right, tighten that. Good, not going anywhere. I had a really bad experience with solid core, so I tend to prefer stranded for everything. In particular, I was using solid core, I think, for all sorts of things, including trying Molex connectors. And if you ever tried solid core and Molex, they're not always friends if they're not the right gauge. it'll just break. Alright, yeah, this is going to look cool. Moving along. Let's see what it, let's just test it every stage just to double check everything. So 5 volt, 5 volts, and where's the 5 volt rail? Yeah, nothing else should. Huh. Why is the 5 volt and ground? Is that the same here? This ground just connected to everything right now. Yeah. At least the positives. Okay, yeah, so cool. That's probably as designed. Got continuity, it's probably fine. Let's do plus 12, which, where's my other boxes? I just want to look at the side of one to double check. Plus 12 is V2, which makes sense because it has the plus next to it. Okay, screwdriver. Okay, and then you're going about to there. Might be a tad short, but we'll find out. If anyone has an idea of what to do with all of the little bits of rubber that are stripped off of these wires, let me know. I feel like something interesting could be done. Maybe something arty. I don't know. But it feels like a waste every time I toss one in the bin, even though it is the smallest piece. You know, better to not waste stuff. All right. Next. Dude, I'm sorry this isn't music. Did a really cool set, I think on Tuesday. Or at least I thought it was cool. You might think it sucks, which is fine. And I uploaded it with slightly better sound quality to my YouTube channel. Yesterday or the day before. Can't remember, all blurs together. So check that out if you want actual music, or just watch any number of EMS playlists. There's so many good tracks on there. That's what I should do, is pull up a playlist while I'm doing this stuff so that we can listen to other EMS tracks while I'm working. That's a good idea. Okay, let's double check things are connected. Okay, 12. I love that minus 12 light lights up when I do this. I guess if I reverse these, it should light up when I do this. Wait, this? Something like that? No, I don't know. Anyway, it's all good probably. Last set of wires, last pair, and then I got to get some parts before I can finish this. I mean, I could use soldering, something about soldering that. probably fine, but I don't know. I'll get some crimps and Y. I still need the Y terminals actually. I could do it with soldering, but it's kind of an unwieldy wire gauge at 14, and it's kind of a pain to solder 3 wires together. Like, there's some tricks, but so we need to go to V3, and NC is not connected. Somebody mentioned that in yesterday's stream, so that's cool. All right. I think I actually prefer soldering my power supplies to this stuff, but that's okay. It's probably faster. Wiring is just so tedious. Okay. About there. All right. This is probably the last wire of the day. Cool. Should I hook these back up to one of them and see if these light up? Might as well. I'm already here. I think they're long enough. Just gotta make sure I put the right one to the right thing. Right? Pretty sure this is ground. And who are you? Okay, where's the loose switch for me to look at? Okay, it's in this orientation. Top one is ground, then next one is neutral, and the bottom one is hot. So let's go to neutral, or N. It's the second opportunity for things to blow up today. Okay, looks good. And then the last one, the bottom one, is hot. L. Someone tell me why L means hot. And I'm actually fairly confident at this point, which may be a mistake, but see, none of those are connecting. Don't see any shorts there. Think we're good. Let's double check. Oh, for lower. N for middle. Again, top for ground. Okay, cool. All wired up. Theoretically, if I plug it in, nothing should explode. We should just see some LEDs. Now, what I do with that cable is a good question. There we go. So, how do I want to do this? Probably easier to do it this way. Alright, please don't explode. LEDs, really boring. Yeah. We've got power. Again, no heats, nothing seems upset. Should we plug something in? I'm gonna go find a module. So I have one over here. No, but yeah, I'm gonna go grab a module. Be right back. I just want to see if it works. Alright, I got a module. I just wanted to get one with an LED so we don't have to like do anything fancy. Alright, plug one in. And I've tested all these cables, so they should be good. Please don't explode. Nothing. Right? Oh yeah, it works. I just had the level all the way down. Alright, so I've got the rates. You can go higher with it. Alright, so we have, this is going to work, I think. I'm going to have to make some more cables. I've got about 8 modules that could go in immediately. Pretty good. All I need to do is get that Y junction, and 3 Y junctions and some crimp thingy jiggers. I could also use some maybe I'll just solder that one, crimp the other ones, but I'll still get the crimp things in the Y junctions will be cool. Hopefully I can get a Y junction. I don't even know what those look like. Hey, enthusiastic electrons, it works. Only one of these is hooked up right now because I want to get some Y junctions and crimpy dealios so I can connect both of these, but everything's wired up. It probably all works. Nothing exploded. Nothing seems to be getting hot. And I just have the center rail off temporarily while I do this work. But yeah. Did a patch and solder stream? Yeah, I was thinking of doing some soldering, but I want to get this case done. Like, the primary reason I want this case done is as a prototype to understand the ins and outs of this setup, and if it works well, which it seems to be, what I'm going to do is pull every single module out of one of my other cases, one of the ones that's dealing with some power sag, like a lack of power, and just set them on the rails. I'm not going to screw them in, but I'm going to plug them all in and see if it works better. If that's the case, I'm going to swap that power supply out with these and be ready for kicking ass live. Also, another bonus is there's like a switching connector on the side, which looks something like this. So let's see here, so I can turn it off and on real quick. Single cable instead of 2 wall warts. I will need to get more of this type of cable, so if you have a good US supplier that you know of, let me know. It's like a guitar amp cable or whatever. But yeah, it seems to work fine. LFO has no problem. Again, nothing's heating up. Don't want to reach too closely that way, because those are still fairly exposed. But it works. I'm happy. Let's turn it off. So that is the end of this stream. I've done everything I can do, or that I'm planning to do on camera. I don't think it's worth a second stream just to like install some Y connector, but I will take some photos. I'm gonna post what I did online. That's some shit I don't see very often. That way other folks that are thinking of building this know what to do, or have an idea of what to do. And also I am going to put these covers over the terminals. I'll wire it up a little differently, but these covers will go over the wires, something like this, so that I don't accidentally drop a cable or something and electrocute myself. They're pretty clever. They just go around like that. That's it. Yeah, stoked. This is the second box in my second Cosmo stack. So it's actually the first box, but for whatever reason, I just didn't build a power supply, because this scares me a little bit, because there's mains right there. It's not connected right now, and I'm still like sketched out by it. Anyway, have a good evening or afternoon. Hope some people stream some music. I might make some music later tonight or do more building. It depends on how much I've had to drink. If I drink a lot, it's music time. If not, it's solder time, because I would like to wrap this up. I wonder if the auto parts store is open tomorrow. But I also have plenty of soldering to do. Like there's a Cosmo module called the the Cosmic Taxidermist. That I have been putting off building for a long time. It's essentially a phonic taxidermist. It looks like this. It's the first Cosmo module I've gotten that has like gold things on it, so that'll be kind of cool. Anyway, I don't even remember what it does. I've had it for a while. And then, after I built these cases, after I built the other power supply in my other case and Cosmic Taxidermist, I'm going to see what parts I need to order, because I have some here's my box of to-dos. Like, it's a bunch of really cool PCBs in all Cosmo format for the most part, but I need to order some specific parts for a module that was gifted to me that I really want to build for my new case. That is the Erica Synths baseline. Like, look at this beautiful panel. I probably don't even have the potentiometers. I mean, I have the potentiometers for it, but I mean the knobs. Like, I only have Cosmo knobs for the most part, so excited to build that. Take a look at the PCBs for it. Here are the PCBs for it, side by side. They are not for the faint of through-hole heart. Oops. PCBs are tough. Anyway. Ooh, a muck slicer, that'll be cool. I'm out.